Sandy says read, and welcome to the channel. Today we are going to do the October wrap up of this Booktube channel and all the crazy stuff that happened in October. We might do a little prognosticating of what's about to happen in November. Since this is already November, what day is today? Where does it tell me? It tells me this is November 2nd. It's Saturday afternoon. I'm filming this gloriousness for you all. I have to first share the wacky crazy that has happened to me. This actually falls under the category of health and house. I'll just go ahead and start. We'll just dive in with this little story because you all might notice the crazy that's happening with my hand. Yay. So I'll just go ahead and tell you what's happened. Yeah, I'm an idiot. That's what's happened. Okay, so you guys might remember that back in like June, July, back in the summer, I had an incident in my kitchen where the pipe under the sink just, randomly imploded. Yeah, so I thought I was going to fix that back then. The way I fixed it was kind of haphazard. I forgot that when you fix a pipe in your home, you're supposed to use that vinyl tape stuff. Yeah, around the screw, around the threads of the screw when you screw the thing back in so that it does not leak water. Well, I forgot that step, right? So the pipe under the sink leaked water, and it has continued to do so since then because I really haven't had the time to redo the fix. So yeah, since June or July, I haven't been able to use the left side of the kitchen sink. I've been using the right-hand side of the kitchen sink to do the dishes, etc., etc. It's been fine. It's fine. It works. You guys, you might not know, I don't have a dishwasher in my kitchen. I live in a house that was built in 1981, and I think the dishwasher is from 1981. It was old. It was decrepit. It had a fault that I could not fix, and I couldn't get the part to fix it. It was that old. So I just like, you know what? Yeet that thing out of here. Got rid of the dishwasher. I do not have a dishwasher in my kitchen. That is fine. That's fine. I grew up without a dishwasher when I was much younger. We didn't have a dishwasher in my home, so I am familiar with the concept of washing dishes by hand. This is doable. I can do that. It's better for the environment, right? You use less water, you use less electricity when you wash your dishes by hand. I've been doing that. Well, this weekend, Friday, yesterday to be exact, I decided I was going to fix the situation with the sink so that I could use the entire sink now. Yay. Like an idiot, though, I, got under there. I get the stuff undone. I put the vinyl threading, the vinyl tape stuff around the what is it called? Around the pipe. Yeah, screw that back in. It's very nice. It still leaked. Yeah, I didn't fix it. So in my frustration, I grabbed the contractor's foam and just squirted that in there, sprayed it. I took care of that. I did read the can before spraying it, refamiliarized myself with the concept of the contractor's foam, refamiliarized myself with, yes, you do shake the can vigorously for 60 seconds prior to using it. I got the little nozzle thing on there just right, the way you're supposed to. Did all that stuff. I neglected to put on gloves. Yeah. So I'm spraying it in there, getting this all gooped up, and I've got my hands in there in the stuff, and I've got the goop on my fingers. And I swear, you guys, I could hear Morgan Freeman's voice narrating in my mind. It was then that she realized she had fucked up. Yeah. Yeah, I had it just all over my hands, my fingers. It was a mess. But at that point, it was so screwed up that I might as well go ahead and finish the project. So I went ahead and finished the project, got it all done, got as much of the goop off of my fingers as I could. But it was a mess. It was a situation. I was unable to access my laptop computer because my computer no longer recognizes my fingerprint. Yeah, it was a thing. It's okay now. Okay, it's okay. I've gotten most of the stuff off. I am going to go up to Ace Hardware and get some Goo Be Gone, whatever that stuff is called, right? That you soak your fingers in and you get the goop off. Yeah. That is what has happened to my hand. So if you guys notice weirdness as I'm talking to you, that's why. It's because I can't do home repair properly. I don't stop and think before doing home repairs. Here we go. You guys, we are going to talk about books. This is a book channel. It's a booktube channel where we usually talk about bookish things. We just have a little bit of chaos and mayhem that happens as well. So if you like that, I welcome you to subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Welcome your friends to subscribe to the channel too. Because while we do talk about books, we do booktube tags and we do book reviews here, we also mock my insanity. And that's always fun. There you go. Yay. Shall we begin? Shall we dive into the October wrap-up of things that happened in Sandy's life, in the reading and everything else that happened here? Let's just continue with the health and house category, since that's where we are. The other thing that I'm going to do when I run up to Ace Hardware is get some new weather stripping for my front door. That's what this is. This is a piece of weather stripping. And you might think, look at it. Isn't that fantastic? And it doesn't look like weather stripping, does it? Look at how there's like no give to it, right? Well, it's because I live in Florida, and here in Florida, it gets really hot in the summers, and the weather stripping on my front door melts. So when you open my front door in the summer, the weather stripping melts against it and stretches it. It's a thing. It's a situation. So I am going to replace the weather stripping. Oh, well, it's got some give to it. There we go. I'm going to replace the weather stripping on my front door, but I'm going to take this little section with me to make sure that I get the right width. I am not aware of the different sizes of door weather stripping that you can purchase. So I'm going to take this with me. I'm going to ask a little person at Ace Hardware to assist me. I'm going to show him this is the width that I need. There we go. Is that enough of the house stuff that we should be talking about? Health-wise, I'm insane. Also health-wise, I had a doctor appointment in October and discovered there's still no cancer. Yay! Also, no diabetes. Yay! So, doing good. The weird, wacky thing, I did discuss with my doctor the fact that I have restless leg syndrome, right? Imagine restlessness in my life. I do have restless leg syndrome, which is where, of the evenings, especially if you're seated, your legs just kind of do. This is the symbol for do. Your legs just kind of, jump, or they're restless. That's all. That's how I can explain it. They get restless, right? And at night when I'm trying to go to sleep, this is obnoxious. And in the middle of the night, sometimes they just cramp up. It's a thing, okay? Maybe too much information. I don't know. There you go. But my doctor suggested a few things that I'm already trying to do. So then she said I should get some compression socks. And I thought, oh, I feel even more ancient than when I first came in. So I bought compression socks. And look, they have purple toes. How cute is that? So if I have to wear old lady socks, at least they have cute purple toes. I also bought a purple pair. Yeah. So, I have compression socks now, you guys. I officially feel as ancient as I am. Here we go. That's that. That's the health category, the health and house category for y'all. Yay. What else took place in the month of October? Let's see. Here on Booktube, in the Booktube community, I discovered I don't know if it's a tag so much as it is just a topic that a couple of booktubers have been talking about. And I thought I would bring the topic and the conversation to you guys so that you guys can share with me what you think of this. Okay, what is it? It's the Read What You Own challenge. I like this. I mean, on one hand, I really do like this. On another hand, there's no way. There's just no way. So let's talk about this a little bit. The Read What You Own challenge. It looks like it's been around for a couple of years. It was started by, I wrote it down, you guys. Hang on. Where'd it go? It was started on Criminali blog. And I'll put a link to that in the drop-down box below so you guys can go check that out. You can go see how this began. I saw it, or I learned of it on Fiber Artsy. She's got a channel here where she does do, book stuff. It's like a booktube it's a booktube channel, but she also does fiber arts, like she does crochet and things of that nature, right? Needlepoint, those kinds of things. Quite intrigued by that. Anyway, that's how I learned of, it's not a tag, that's how I learned of the topic. You guys, the concept is that you read a certain number of books that you already have on your channel, or on your shelves, before you allow yourself to go and purchase and bring into your life more books. There is no way I could do that. There's no way I could do that. But here's some of the, I guess, some of the goals in the challenge. You could set for yourself the goal of bronze, which is to read 25 books or 6,250 pages before you go and purchase any more books. Or you could do the silver level, which is 50 books or 12,500 pages. Or you could set for yourself the gold challenge, which is 75 books or 18,750 pages. Or there's the platinum level, you guys, which is 100 books. Read 100 books from your shelves or 25,000 pages before you go out and allow yourself to purchase and bring into your home more books. I can't imagine forcing myself to read 100 books. You know, I mean, yes, I just did that tag where you look at your TBR. It's like a TBR challenge where you look at how many books you've got that you've been procrastinating on, that kind of thing. And there were over 300 books on my TBR piles, you know, around the room. So maybe this kind of challenge would be good for me to do, show those books some love. But I know myself, and I know there is no possible way that I could limit myself to only reading the books that are currently in my home, on my shelves, before purchasing more books. And here's why. I constantly promote other authors. I'm constantly looking for indie authors that I can support the best that I can support them, right? I mean, even if that's just buying the Kindle version of their book for $1.99, I want to support that indie author. I want to bring the book into my life. Even if I only get to read one chapter of it, a couple chapters of it, and then I DNF it, I'm still trying to support that author the best I can. Because I am also independently published. I have some self-published titles. I understand the struggle. So I'm constantly trying to get more books from authors that you guys might not have heard of and bring you those titles, bring you those authors. So it kind of goes against the mission of this channel to stop bringing books in, if that makes sense. Okay. So I'm not sure what I think of me attempting this challenge. I think it's awesome if you have a huge TBR pile that's been like weighing on your mind. If it's causing you angst or stress or guilt, oh my God, then yeah, a challenge like this makes total perfect sense. I mean, yeah, if your TBR pile is causing you angst, then address it, right? I mean, maybe unhaul some books that you know you're not going to read. Maybe do something to help yourself. I mean, your mental health is priority one, right? I mean, do something about that. I can see where having a pressure, if the TBR pile is causing you pressure, angst, and stress, then yeah, maybe this read what you own challenge is a really good idea. I just can't imagine me attempting this, you guys. I can't imagine. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Is this something that you guys see yourselves participating in, accepting the challenge, and which level? I mean, the 25 book level, maybe I could try that. I would have to be very strategic as to when I started it, right? Because at the end of January, there is the Sunshine State Book Festival. Well, I can't start a 25 book challenge and like place a moratorium on myself where I can't buy any books right before I go to a festival where I'm going to be, if one of my goals is to purchase books from my fellow authors, right? I would fail. I would fail the challenge immediately. So yeah, I can't see myself starting it right away. What is this? This is November 2nd. We've already determined this is November 2nd. I bet I could read 25 books between now and the end of January. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Although I will tell you, it's a little all over the place, isn't it? Fiber Artsy did comment when she did this, when she talked about this topic on her channel, she did comment that she allows herself to keep her Book of the Month subscription when there's a book that she's really interested in. So she is allowing a couple of those, subscription services to sneak in there. She's not placing a full stop moratorium on any new books. She is allowing herself a few books to come in, even though she's participating in the challenge. It is serving its purpose for her as it needs to. Does that make sense? Okay. So there's that topic. Let's move on to see what else happened in the month of October. What else did I notice for you guys? In my writing life during October, I participated in a contest called Writing Battle. It's a short story contest where from October 20th to the 27th, you write a short story of up to 2,000 words. You have to go between 1,000 and 2,000, okay? What happens is on October 20th, at the outset of the contest, the administrators of the contest randomly fling 3 prompts at you. One prompt is your genre that you're assigned, and the other 2 prompts are your setting and a character, like a type of character, not like a character name, but like a type of character, like I read one today where the character was a chosen one, the chosen one, okay? I'll tell you about reading them in a minute. Okay, so you get your genre, and then you get your 2 other prompts, and you get to, if you can't think of something for those, you get to redraw once on your genre, and then there are a couple other times you can redraw on your other prompts if you wish. I redrew once for my genre because, oh my God, the first genre prompt I was given was for true crime. You guys know. No. I don't know that I could write a short story in a week's time on a true crime short story. I don't think I could do it. It's not in my brain. So I chose a different genre and got, and I'm allowed to talk about, I am allowed to tell people out there in the world which genre my story was in. And that was the cemetery. Yeah, genre was cemetery. And I could not redraw again. That was it. I'm like, oh, for the love of God. So I had to write a story in the cemetery genre, which I did. Okay. And then the other 2 prompts we're not really supposed to share too much about at this stage in the contest. What happens now that we've written the story and turned it in by the 27th, now we participate in what's called duels. My story is out there in the world, and other authors, other people who participated in the short story contest are judging it. Other people are reading my story and judging it against other stories in the cemetery genre. So that's happening out there in that genre. And then folks who wrote stories in like the cozy fantasy. Oh man, I wish I would have drawn that, right? But folks who wrote stories in the cozy fantasy genre or the science fiction genre or the true crime genre, those stories are coming to people like me, people who weren't in that genre. We don't get to judge stories that were in the genre we were handed, okay? We are reading these stories and giving feedback to the authors, which is amazing and great, okay? We get to give feedback, and we give feedback about what we liked, and we give feedback about something that we would have changed or some suggestions we would make for improvement on the story, okay? And then we have to decide which of the 2 stories we read that day we would give a point to, or which story we would advise moving on in the battles, in the duels, in the contest. And the other one doesn't get to move on, in our opinion. And I hate that. I'm not good at crushing someone's dreams, but that's what we're supposed to do in this. We're supposed to give feedback and then pick which of those 2 stories we would give a point to, which of those 2 stories we would pick as the stronger of the 2. And that's what's going on for a couple of weeks for the writing battle. I don't know how long that goes on, for a little while. I should have looked that up before I started talking about it, but there you go. So for a little while now, that writing battle will be taking place. And then at some point we will be told if our story is good enough to move on to like a final round of judging. Wish me luck, you guys. Yeah. What else? Writing related. Last month, I did get word back about the Writers Weekly short story contest in September. On the 14th and the 15th, there was a contest where you write a short story in 24 hours. That prompt, everybody got the same prompt. And that prompt was to do with like autumn and, running over something in the road, like a bump in the road and autumn leaves and a cornfield and stuff like that, right? You had 24 hours to write up to 875 words. You turned that in. The story I wrote was Some Days You Want the Dragon to Win. And it got an honorable mention. And I think I am allowed to share the story with people out there in the world. I don't think it is being published on writersweekly.com. I don't think so. I'm going to double check that, but I think that I can share it out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to include it in my December 1 newsletter. It means if you would like to read Some Days You Want the Dragon to, was that right? Some Days You Want the Dragon to Win. I wrote it down. Some Days You Want the Dragon to Win. Then you should subscribe to my newsletter. It's free. And the ticker along the bottom of the screen there should show you the URL to sign up for that. And you know what? I will put that in the drop down box below as well. Anyway, the short story that I submitted, how do I want to say this? I submitted that one, although I did have a second one I wrote that I didn't feel as strongly about the other one. I put that one in the October 1st newsletter. And so that one went out to all my subscribers. And, I figured this out, you guys. If you subscribe to my newsletter, you can access all the past newsletters. You just have to, you just open the thing in your browser and it will show you where you can click on past newsletters, past issues. And you can look at all the past issues. You can see all the past columns that Malachi the Dragon has written. You can see all the past like freebies that I've included at the end of the newsletter, like the little free things that you can hang on your door frames and stuff. I've included little free things to people in the past. And I don't always include a freebie each month because I'm lazy. Let me just be honest and say I am a lazy person and I do not always put a free thing in the newsletter, but there you go. So in October, the novella class that I'm participating in was supposed to meet and go over our novellas together. That got postponed due to some illness going on in the class, but we are going to do that. I wrote it down, didn't I? Did I write it down? No, I didn't write it down. Hang on. I think we're going to meet on the 10th and discuss those stories. Anyway, I believe I told you guys last month that there were 10 stories to read. No, I'm an idiot and I can't math. There are 5 stories to read for that class. Yeah. There you go. 5. That's happening. We're doing that. What else? Is that all the writing stuff that was happening in October? It feels like there was so much more writing stuff happening in October. Yeah, there you go. Here at the channel during October, we did go over some like spooky, scary books, like the Dreams of Desolation by Miguel Garcia. We went over that one. I think I read that at the end of September, so it might not be an October read, but I got it here for you guys to enjoy the review in October. I also went over, what else? I'm trying to remember what other books I reviewed on the channel in October. I should have written these all down, but you guys, you can go to the playlist here on the channel. There's a playlist for book reviews of awesome greatness. It's book reviews, okay? And you can see all the book reviews in order. and you can watch any one of them that you wish. There you go. I've been kind of concentrating on dragon books for the Dragon Reading Challenge and clock books, books with numbers in their titles for the Clock Reading Challenge. I've been kind of focusing on getting some of those read and finished off for the year. So those books especially are happening right now. And I'm starting to get some Christmas books read so I can bring you guys some Christmas content for the Christmas Reading Challenge. One of the books that arrived during October is The Figure by J. Patrick Lamar. Make sure there's not a glare on that. And there we can see the whole thing, because you could have the shameless plug portion of the video banner showing in front of you now, because while I'm talking about this book that arrived in time for October spooky season and Halloween, I want to talk about Jeff for just a moment and mention that authors like Jeff and like myself, like Molly Daniels, like Ren Mellion, these authors out there in the world, we are coming up with marketing ideas and merchandise as part of our side hustle as authors, because Amazon and Kindle and Barnes & Noble, these different outlets don't necessarily give the author a ton of money each time a book is sold. All right. I'm not complaining. Please don't hear this as a complaint. I write books because I've got to get the stories out of my head. I write books because the characters like Nigel in the Choices series, if I didn't write down his favorite people's stories, he would drive me insane, and then I wouldn't be able to bring you guys content at all. Okay. I write the stories because I must. I'm not in it to make a ton of money. But if I were to make some money on the side, wouldn't that be nice, right? For example, I do have a merch shop. Jeff does have merchandise at his website. Okay, there are authors like Ren Mellion that has she has a Patreon channel, okay, where she has merchandise and she has a way for people to be patrons of her work. Okay, we're all out here offering these extras to people as part of the side hustle. And I'm not just trying to give you guys a commercial. I'm trying to suggest, if you were looking for less expensive Christmas present ideas and stocking stuffers, these things exist from hardworking indie authors like myself, like Jeff, like Ren Mellion, like Kenzie Daniels, like any indie author you can think of. If you go to their website, there's probably a link back to their merch shop, back to someone that they've partnered with. Like the candle stuff that finally came together, the candle line that finally came together for my Choices series. You can link to shadowflamecreations.com from my website. I've got a way for you to do that. And it's in the drop-down box below. Okay, there are ways that we authors get the extra stuff to you that you can do for Christmas presents. I've got, Jeff has postcards. He has an artist he works with, and I think he did these illustrations himself. Jeff, if you're watching this, please comment below and correct me where I've screwed that up. But he's got these postcards that he's put together, a little postcard packet, of cool looking postcards, right? That you can purchase from him and send to people or have as a collector's item. He has put together stickers, a sticker sheet from the Tales of the Evermore. And this has his 3 characters from The Willing, the Wounded, and the Wizard, right? I mean, he's got these things that he's put together, which you can find at his channel at his website, www.jpatricklamar with 2 R's.com. I will put that in the drop-down box below. I'll put a link to Ren Mellion's patron channel in the drop-down box below. I'll put a link to Kenzie Daniels' stuff in the drop-down box below. Of course, my merch channel is in the drop-down box below, okay? And I will stop giving you the hard sell about Christmas presents now. Although I will mention that C.L. Cannon, she has a Black Friday book fair coming up. So on the day after Thanksgiving, there will be a way for you to access hundreds of authors through that book fair. I will have a link to that on Black Friday. I will have that link. I'm one of the participating authors in that, and it's going to be simply huge. And you will be able to get books at discounted prices, whether that's Kindle or print. Authors are out here working hard. Okay, next I want to mention the books, since this is a book channel, and music that happened during the month of October. The Tom McDonald and Nova Rockefeller CD has not arrived yet, but they released 2 CDs that they had done together from their girlfriend-boyfriend band. I don't know if you call it a band. From their girlfriend-boyfriend partnership. I only ordered one of the 2, and I didn't order the signed copy because I'm destitute. I just ordered their Wild Ones CD of the 2 that were available. I ordered the Wild Ones. It hasn't arrived yet. I was going to show it to you guys. It's not here. When it arrives, I will show it to you guys. I did order and receive, like I ordered this a long time ago. I pre-ordered the Destination I Don't Know by Deco. Deco is a band over in the UK, and they are fantastic. I love them a lot, and I highly recommend them. They have a sound that is very 80s. They do a lot of work with like synthesizers and a fabulous bass line, and their gal, she plays the saxophone, and I love that. I cannot recommend them highly enough, but I ordered this back in the summer, and then it arrived like early October. So that is here. And of course, I ordered Duran Duran's Dance Macabre Deluxe Edition. And it's going to have a huge glare on it. Let's get the glare off. Yeah. There you go. Okay. There is a like fancy, dancy, bizarre box version of this that has like it's shaped like a coffin, and it's got all kinds of stuff and things and trinkets inside of it. You guys, that was a little pricey. And I know, I am a huge Duran Duran fan. I wrote a freaking Duran Duran book, which is available now, but it's expensive. So I just got the CD of the deluxe version because it's got this New Moon on Monday dark phase. Holy crap, you guys. Of course I'm going to purchase that and have it and own it and hold it and have it. Yeah, there we go. So that's the music that arrived in October. Yay. Then in October, I read and reviewed Talon by Julie Kagawa, and that review is up for you guys now. And I read Melania. I got the autobiography Melania, and I've read this. I have not done the review for you guys yet. I've got my notes, and I want to organize it a little better before I do the review. Just because I know there are people out there who will be so triggered and offended by the fact that I'm reviewing her book. I want to do it in a very tasteful and kind and thoughtful way so that the triggered people can relax and just relax. Okay. Then I also received my author's copy of Storms of the Brain. I've already reviewed this for you guys here on the channel. Already discussed it with you guys. But what's coming up in November is our interview with Nessa Brown. Nessa Brown has 2 stories in this one. One is called The Headsman, right? Is that, hold please. Yes. One is called The Headsman. And what is the other one? Lipstick in the River. So those are the 2 that we will for sure be discussing when Nessa is here on November 7th, right? Hold on. You guys know I cannot do dates. Numbers won't. Okay. November 7th at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be interviewing Nessa Brown and talking about Storms of the Brain. These 2 stories are her first published stories. So we're going to be talking about the whole writing process, the class structure process for these particular stories in this anthology. We'll be talking about first publication and all that kind of good stuff with writing. Okay, so that's coming up. I hope you guys will join us for that. As far as interviews go, I did have an interview in October with Sako and the Moon. You guys, I hope that I mentioned it here on the channel at some point, but I will link to that in the drop-down box below. Sako and the Moon have a fairly new channel here on YouTube, and they interviewed me on the 18th to talk about horror writing, different horror elements in writing, and to talk a little bit about Silver Bells, a Christmas horror story. So we did that on the 18th. Is that everything? You guys, have I gone over everything that we were supposed to go over? We talked about reviews that we did on the channel. We talked about books. Of course, this is a booktube channel. We talked about music, my crazy house that's falling apart. You guys, I think that's everything. Thumbs up for getting through the October wrap up and getting through October, just in general, right? You guys, hopefully we can get through November as well. Hopefully nothing burns to the ground in November. Hopefully it's going to be wonderful and great. And you know what? Yes, it's going to be wonderful and great. You guys, we are going to enjoy November. We're going to be intellectual and bookish here at this channel and just get through November together, being bookish and intellectual. And maybe fun. Yeah, because we're still going to have some dragon books coming. That would be fun. Frivolous. We need fun and frivolity. You guys, thumbs up for fun and frivolity, getting through October. And thank you so much for tuning in.